mental health. Sound mental health is a prerequisite for development. All across the world, there seems to be a common misconception about mental health. In Ghana, the situation hit an alarming proportion, with many assuming that mental health sufferers are doomed for life. But this is simply not true. Mental health is curable.
Mental illness, an illness has a cause, and the causes are what we normally find out. When we find out about the causes and treat you accordingly, you will become fine. You can get mental illness just because of the usual infection we know. Common malaria can disorganize you. Things like meningitis, we normally call it cerebrospinal meningitis.
That's right.
Can disorganize you. Just the infection of the spine can disorganize you. So when all these things we see and we treat those illness, we become fine.
Misconceptions abound to what has become known as stigmatization. In northern Ghana, stigma against mental health sufferers is a huge phenomenon. According to Basic Needs, an NGO, there are about 18,000 mentally challenged persons in northern Ghana. Stigmatization is a serious problem, particularly in the rural communities where great intolerance and rejection is openly shown to sufferers. Many of them roam the streets, while some of them are confined by relatives with little or no attention at all.
You know, like we say, people, some of us who call ourselves that you are normal, we all have our rights. We have our basic rights. So the mentally ill people also have their rights. And one of the rights is for treatment. When they are sick, they need treatment. And the treatment must be given in a decent way. Not like how our traditional people chain them, tie them to trees, put them inside and cool. It's not accepted. And that is what we are saying. They have their right and they must be handled as human beings, because sickness is something that can be treated and you get back to your normal life. Even though at times some of them, when they are sick, they tend to lose the thinking capacity of making life. But when we treat you, we retrain you to fit you back to your normal life.
Mental health stigma makes it difficult for sufferers to access basic support services. Until we started this project, mental health care was more or less relegated to the background. Basic Needs, an international NGO, has been in the forefront, leading a crusade to bring care to mental health patients. We went further to the psychiatric unit at the Tamale Central Hospital, where we met senior psychiatric nurse, Mr. John Abdullahi. Sir, you were on the verge of telling us the state of psychiatric nursing in this region, and said the awareness has been created with the help of Basic Needs. And so we want to find out, how about beyond Tamale? What is the current state of affairs, sir?
Yeah, beyond Tamale, in fact, the efforts have been made by the Ghana Health Service and the government to provide, to have access, people to have access to mental illness in the region. Presently, out of the 26 districts or so, we occupied almost all the districts, and we have psychiatric staff in almost all the districts.
Despite what appears to be an effort by the Ghana Health Service, there are still critical areas of understanding the concept of care for mental health patients.
Yes, so we have four basic needs. So our sexuality, our food, our clothing, and our shelter. What we find is that food, where sexuality is not just the physical coitus, but the emotional involvement with gender issues. That one and the food is far more important than the clothing and the shelter. We see this. We have been seeing mentally ill people for the last 21 years every day. There's not a day we have missed. And what has come out over and over and over is that the way they feel like the appreciation of the human respect that they need and their food. If they get enough to eat and they feel accepted in the society, many of them will gradually revert to what we call normal.
At the sprawling Shekina Clinic in Gurugu, Tamale, Dr. Abdullahi, a middle-aged medical practitioner, had devoted all 22 years of his professional life in caring for the mentally sick and destitute in the 3 northern regions and beyond.
Have you ever heard of the story of the wounded healer?
The wounded healer.
Yes.
I think I have seen
I am a healer, but I'm also wounded. As I heal, I get back. You get back what you give out. What? I believe in God, and I have a certain concept of God. It is this belief in God and this concept that is in my life.
But you're not a trained psychiatrist.
No. At all. I'm just a simple GP. You know, I got my first degree in Lagos. I got my second diploma in the UK. In Liverpool, finished. I intentionally decided not to specialize at all, so I'm no specialist at all, and I'm very happy about that. I can always say I don't know.
You can only say you don't know. Dr. Abdullahi combines humor, compassion, and professional ethics in taking care of an unknown number of mental health sufferers. Dr. Abdullahi tells us confining mental patients is a wrong strategy. So the idea is that you don't confine them.
No.
And they have the discernment to determine when to stay, when to go.
You know one thing, every human being is longing for love. When they feel that love, that kind of behavior of fighting will go down. Every human being who is hungry is an angry person. When he is fed, the anger will go down, then the fighting structure will also go down. That's as simple as that.
That's right. So one of the strategies will be to show compassion.
Of course.
To show love.
Not only for mad people, even you, if they do not show compassion to you, you will wither and die off. And so every human being is a basic need of human beings that we need to show to feel compassion from other people. He doesn't want to dress.
He doesn't want
to. Yeah, but we're not going to push you to do that.
Do you want to
No, we will dress if we are ready to dress and we offer it to him every day. But he says, I don't want. We have lots of clothing. He doesn't want the clothing.
Wow.
Okay, but that is his freedom. You can't force him to give him new clothing.
So that is a strategy to be able to take care of these people.
And
to allow them their freedom.
Yes. And this man has been here for how many years now?
More than
16 years.
4 or 5. But you see, if in the hospital this is wrong, that this will have, it's a dirty window, so you don't care about the patient at all. But the man doesn't want it. So it's all right, we are available. Every day we'll offer you the chance to accept it or not.
What is your name, sir? What is your name?
Samaro.
Okay, Samaro. Why don't you want your wound dressed? Well, he's just laughing and moving away.
That's okay.
Yeah. Okay, that's okay. The doctor said.
But as I'm saying, now, you can say that this is bad.
Yeah.
That we're not behaving properly at all. But if we push him, the moment we just go out, we are going to probably go and die
somewhere.
It's not better to have this wound and stay in the community and feel it's a part of life. That's one. Secondly, I myself have had a vessel wound day in and day out that ended up in a cancer. One day, the wound eroded into a big vessel. The man just left the vessel and he died. When we had this one of these ones here. And so when the person is not being shown the compassion, he may want to grab it. And then in the course of it, the person who claims he or she is normal will think that this man is really mad. Look at his behavior.
So in our bid to find solution to some of these problems, the issue of compassion and love and care should be paramount than medication.
I can tell you 100%. I could give you one story after another. Look at Bambu's case, for instance. This woman comes in completely nude, completely naked, and was picking sand and putting into people's food when they were cooking. We have an open compound. And then gradually she feels our love here, and gradually she begins to wear clothing. Now she's gathering clothing. She's still, if you want, mad, but now in the opposite direction. She's not on drugs.
At the open, sprawling area called the Shakida Clinic, one could see many of the patients walking freely, living in their own world. Dr. Abdullah conducts us around this interesting but very queer place we call a clinic.
So man comes from a good food, but she doesn't like that. Doesn't like yes, where she got just 1994, 95.
Wow.
Yes.
94.
She used to go completely naked. I don't mention it.
Yeah, you mentioned it. Yes, in the school.
And because she was following other people's steps, she not happening. Wow.
She was dancing beautifully. She was up dancing.
Wow. Oh yes, that's a blind woman there. Definitely, she's happy here.
Yeah.
She has a family in town. They don't care about her. It's not only the blind people and the mad people who are not cared for. Even normal people who don't have much, people don't care much about them. You go group one, you saw the world will do to you.
We move around the compound. We are confronted with attitude-changing ways of caring for mentally challenged people. Dr. Abdullah says we need to go to the basics of human existence to find ways to take care of mentally challenged people. We see a patient completely naked and another with a gaping wound on his legs. But Dr. Abdullah says it is okay to leave the patients to enjoy their freedom. So this style of offering care continues on daily basis in Tamale.
See what you're saying?
No.
You're confessing. I saw you confessing with some people and didn't want to disturb you. You didn't want to come and confuse us. She didn't want to come and confuse us. So she'll go somewhere else and leave us alone. After conversation, she'll come back. We're very good friends, are we not?
Where's my phone? I don't want to use my phone. I can see that.
I can greet, but I don't want to come and confuse. Amina!
Don't conversing there.
Alright, I'll see you later.
Okay.
Yes. Wednesday. Our day is either Friday or Wednesday. Remember that. Today is Monday, it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit. See, I don't have money myself, but whenever I get some donation, and we keep the place running very well, and I have a bit of extra in my pocket, I give them a little bit. They can buy me.
Across town, back at the Central Hospital, Mr. John Abdullah, a senior psychiatric nurse, looks on his computer for statistics about mental health cases in northern region.
You see, the epilepsy, the numbers are always growing. For 2010, we had the male 277, female 208.
So the total cases of epilepsy is about 500?
Let me see. You see what happened? These are at the end of the year 2012, December. Total previous years, and this added to. So we have psychiatry, that's psychosis, mental cases, that is the major type of mental cases. We had 107 cases. Then epilepsy, we had 94. And then we have, and then out, this one we group them into areas outside Tamale. That one we mix them. We had 109 cases. Misconditions. All misconditions, or both mental and epilepsy. We didn't separate them. So the total of the previous years and 2012. So previous years, the past year before 2012, we are always accumulating unless we discharge somebody.
Okay.
We had 4,082 for the previous year. But when we added all together, we had 4,392 total cases.
Okay. 4,392 cases for 2012. These are cases that have been reported at the hospital. But in the northern region comprising Upper East and Upper West, many of the patients are kept at home or sent to spiritualists because of the misunderstanding and the stigma attached to mental health.
Families, they can't just throw me here, they go. Since over 5 years, no one comes to me. No one can just give me anything. Our very basic belief, our cultural belief, is highly religious. People believe they will go there. Now, if they will go there, then it will not be wise to clamp down on them. What we can do is to recognize their existence, train them, and regulate them. That's what I want to do.
Okay. Stigma is something that is persisting in all our services. What happened is that within our country, people have the belief that once you get mental illness, you are forever. But that is not the case, because mental illness has no limit for anybody. Any one of us, and you who is listening, can be sick. Or you may be sick and you will know that you are sick mentally. So the stigma people regard mental people and epilepsy is so bad. So we have been trying all the time. Most of the time we get the chance, we try to tell people that it is somebody today, it can be you or me tomorrow.
So I stand in faith of God that I hope one day it should be well for me.